Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I am so delighted you're here with me today. Before we get started with today's episode, I want to remind you that Beautiful Morning is now available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple Books. Beautiful Morning is a guide to life after loss. I wrote this book following my mom's passing to pancreatic cancer a little over 2 years ago. I felt so stuck in grief. I was depressed and I just didn't feel like I could see a way out of it. Through counseling and other techniques and tools that I used, I was able to get to the other side of grief. My book, Beautiful Morning, is my hope that I can help those of you out there stuck in grief also work through your own grief journey with a little more grace and ease. Beautiful Morning is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple Books. Pick up your copy today. And today I want to talk about what to do when you feel like you're bombarded with obstacles that just jump in your way and you're trying to move through life, but it feels like it just keeps getting harder and harder. If you're like me, this has been happening to me this week, but I feel like it happens for a reason. To me, whenever we get really close to something we wanted to manifest, things get a little bit harder. And I think in part, it's the universe testing our patience and our determination and whether or not we truly trust that the universe has our back and is doing things behind the scenes to really bring us what is for us. Now, this week, as you know, I released my new book, Beautiful Morning, and I wanted to self-publish because I was really disappointed by the publishing process for my last book. And it's not that the publisher did anything wrong. She's great. But so many people take a chunk of the pie, right? Like you publish this book, they sell it for $11.99. Amazon takes 40%. The publisher then takes 40%. And literally, I was making $1 or less on each book, and it was so just disappointing. At one point, I'm looking at the numbers, and the last one she sent me, I sold like 285 books. And I made $80. And I'm like, why am I busting my butt? I put all of this work. I mean, it takes so much work to write a book. And it's like a child, right? You love it, you nourish it, you do all these things, and it's so important to you. And then it's like, oh yeah, here's your $80. It's disappointing to say the least. So I thought, why do I need this middle man? Why do I need so many people with their hand in the pot? I can do this myself. I can just, I'm going to need help here and there, which I did. And I hired out people, which is what she probably did. I hired out people to edit it. I hired out someone to format it and then post it. Now, here's where it gets tricky, because for me, this is a really hard thing. When things are out of my control, I want to control everything, and that is really, really hard for me to let go, hands off, get rid of control. But that's what I had to do. I had no control over when my friend was going to finish the editing process, and it took a while, longer than I had wanted, but I'm like, okay. At one point, I just said to the universe, okay, I know this is out of my control, but I would really like to have this book published. And then I just let it go. And a day or two later, he's like, hey, I finished your book. I was like, oh my gosh, it's taken so many months. And when I just let go and said, hey, universe, I need help with this, it happened. And then I needed to find someone. I was going to do all of this myself. I was going to format it, put it on there. And I thought, you know what? I have no idea what I'm doing, and this is going to take forever. I was reading all of these articles on how to self-publish. I could have done it. Now I think I could definitely do it myself, but I didn't know where to start or what I was doing. So I paid someone to format it and upload it. And this is somebody who professionally does this. I thought everything was going great, and he kept sending back formats, and I'm looking at him like, there's all these mistakes. The way that the lines were formatted, and I think it was just because what I sent him was a Google Doc. Next time I probably should use Word, but I just like using a Google Doc because it doesn't take up space on your computer, and it's in the cloud, and I can work on it from anywhere. But I thought, okay, fine, send it to him. He kept having mistakes in the spacing. I'm like, what is happening? I kept finding things. And I must have sent it back like 7 times. Finally, I thought, okay, this is right. This looks good. All the spacing's good. He publishes it. I get on Amazon and I click on the read a sample. And it still is wrong on that preview. I don't know if I can change that. I don't know. It's one of those things that's going to annoy me, but I have to let it go. But I look through and I'm reading through the preview. There was an I that was deleted. Another place, there was another I that was deleted. I'm like, oh my gosh, this has mistakes. I'm last minute scrambling to read through the entire book again just to make sure that no other letters got left out like that. It took me the whole day, the whole afternoon, evening. I was so frustrated. I finally got it fixed, and I'm the one then that had to go to all the different places and re-upload both the print copy and the ebook. And not only did I have to do that, but I had to switch the format because what he gave me was a PDF. You couldn't edit it. I had to find an editor. I had to download a PDF editor. I had to re-edit things. I was so frustrated on Thursday evening. And that's why I had to cancel our live because, first of all, I was not in a good mood. And secondly, I needed every second I could to race to fix that before anybody ordered those copies. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to get copies with mistakes. And as a teacher, it's like, I can't have people thinking that I don't know how to spell or that I'm making these mistakes. It was, oh my gosh, so frustrating. But I got it fixed, and I was like, oh God, please help me. And the whole time I'm saying, please help me, because at first I couldn't even find a way to edit the PDF. Finally, I found a program that, I had to pay, but it was only like $1 or something. I had to edit it, send it back. Same thing with the ebook. And then I had to be able to transform that into ePublisher. It was just a mess. And I just felt like the whole time I'm like, why are you doing this to me? What's going on? Why are you putting up obstacles and blocks? And well, I realized, I was like, you know what? In my foreword where I thank people for the book, I had just mentioned my brother's name and just kind of skimmed over it and didn't really give too much. You all know that I've had issues with him this past year. And I realized, no, I need to change that. I need to put a little dedication just to him and tell him I love him and change that while I have it. I'm going to do it while I have it. Since I'm changing it anyway, I have to. Just might as well do that too. And I'm glad I did. And then something happened this week. My brother and his partner ended their relationship, and it's an amazing thing. We're finally, but also he's still in this dark place and it's still a mess. And we're talking more though. I'm letting him know look, I'm here for you. If you need to talk, you need whatever. It's just a weird spot. And so a lot of crazy things have been happening this week, but I think it's good. But sometimes when you're in the middle of that, you're like, why is this happening? What's going on? And I believe that every delay we experience, every hiccup, every frustration sometimes is for a reason. When things like that start happening to you, it's important for you to stop what you're doing, take a breath, and ask yourself, what is this about? What's happening? Why is this happening? What is this about? Because truly, I think we get in a place where we just go through life and we're going through life so fast and we're not paying attention, and the universe is trying to send us signs and trying to point things out to us, and we don't see it. And it's only when things start to go wrong that we wake up and we come back to a place of presence and say, okay, what's happening? Why are all of these things coming in? Why is this so frustrating? Why is it so hard? Why is life becoming a struggle? And to me, it's because we're not listening to the intuitive guidance that we're being given. The universe wants to get our attention. And what's the best way to get your attention is to throw things off course. Sometimes it's because we're not on the right path and the universe is trying to pick the rug up and move it and go that way. But we're so stubborn and sometimes thick-headed and blind. We're walking blindly through life that we don't realize when the universe is trying to redirect us. So if this has been you this week and you've been frustrated, I get it. I think this week has really been about redirection from the universe and making sure we're on the path. So if things are happening and it's frustrating, I know it's frustrating, stop what you're doing and take a breath and then ask yourself, am I on the right path? Am I listening to my intuition? Am I doing what I'm being guided to do. There's a disruption for some reason. It's not just happening just because. And I don't think it's because the universe wants you to not have what you want. At some point, I even texted my friend and I said, that's it, I quit. I'm not publishing this stupid book. It sucks anyway. And my friend writes back, what are you talking about? He's like, this book does not suck. It's like, don't let yourself get upset because of this guy's mistakes. It's all about him. He is not formatting it correctly. You're not the one making the mistake. He's like, let it go, fix it, and then get it up there. He's like, people need to read your book. And I was like, you're right. I'm making this all about how I'm feeling right now because I'm frustrated. And that's not even why I wrote this book. I didn't write it so I could bolster my ego, right? There's no way I would ever write a book for that reason because putting yourself out there is so scary. I'm not trying to bolster my own self. I wrote it to help others. And if I just gave up and said, I'm not doing it because this sucks and the process is difficult, then I'm not helping anyone and I'm not helping myself. So you can't quit. Sometimes we have to be redirected. And I honestly think the reason that kept happening to me is that the universe wanted me to fix that one part in the beginning. And I kept skipping over that. And he's like, you need to fix that. You need to address that you love your brother, even though you've had some, situations that strained your relationship. You need to put that in there and you need to let him know, no matter what, you're his sister. And I felt like that was the right thing to do. And I really believe that was one of the reasons I was facing so many rewrites, and putting it back up there was for that reason. So I'm glad it happened because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. And I know I needed to. And sometimes we have to swallow our pride and what's, especially in that situation. When he came to me and I had to, he was telling me everything that happened about this guy, everything that I already knew was true about this guy from the beginning because I knew that he was no good. I just had to listen and say, oh my gosh, that sucks. And he said, thank you for not saying I told you so. You want to, right? You want to say I told you so, but that isn't helpful. And it wouldn't help build and mend our relationship. So when something is happening, there might be a redirection involved. Really examine it and ask yourself, why might this be happening? And just see what comes up for you. I wanted to pull a few cards today, so I pulled some cards from Angela Rose's deck. And the first one that came out is human connection and belonging. Touch is a basic human need for survival. Infants need human touch just to survive. Safe touch lowers blood pressure, boosts the immune system, decreases stress, and boosts the feel-good endorphin hormones. Schedule a massage, share a hug, hold a loved one's hand, or give yourself a foot, hand, or neck massage. The mantra that goes with this card is, I feel connected to myself when I allow myself to receive healthy touch and connection. And then you have, I deserve. You deserve to enjoy an amazing life that brings you joy and abundance. You were born worthy. There is nothing you need to do to prove your worth. Journal what your best day would look and feel like. See it in your mind. We need to feel it before we can receive it. The mantra that goes with this card is, I am worthy of a life I love. Exactly. You do enjoy to live a wonderful life. What does that look like for you? Sometimes we don't even know, but what would that look like for you? When I'm writing my manifestations down, I've gotten into the habit of saying how I want my experience to feel. I want to feel freedom and ease in my life, and to feel joy and to feel love and to feel happiness. I really focus on the feeling of what those things would bring me because that's what we really need to focus on when we're wanting to manifest. And now you have take the leap of faith. Don't wait a second longer to do the thing or take the action on your dreams. You are ready now. There will never be a perfect time. Create your own time. Jump in and take the big scary leap. Create the time now to do what has been calling you. Get out your calendar. Actually schedule this in. You can do it. The mantra that goes with this card is, I was ready for this, or I was made for this. I am ready now. Sometimes you just have to do it scared. Jump in blindly and not worry about what you need to know or don't know. I mean, I didn't know anything when it came to self-publishing and learned a lot. And I would definitely do it again because I think it's a better option. Next you have is miracle mindset. Have immeasurable faith and full dedication towards your dreams. Our thoughts create our feelings create our actions create our reality. What thoughts would your higher self be thinking, feeling, or doing in order to live your best life? What is your dream? What do you get lost in time doing? Meditate on this feeling. Lean into your dreams. The mantra that goes with this card is, I have faith and trust that my dreams are unfolding perfectly for me. They are. Have faith in your dreams. My gosh. Have faith in yourself. Even if you don't think you have everything you need or know everything you need, the universe does. And when we trust and ask the universe to bring us people who can come in and help us, I mean, that's one of the best things you can ask for. If you don't know how to do something, you don't know what to do, ask the universe. Now, this sounds really stupid, and I'm going to tell this story anyway, but I bought this little blender, this blend jet, for my work so that I can make smoothies at my work because it's portable. I loved it. It's fantastic. It's like a $50 blend jet, but we have this Planet Overstock store and they had them for $20. So I was like, that's it. I wish I would have gotten two, but that way I could keep one at school and one at home. But I got one because I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and it's amazing. But one day it wasn't working and I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Does it have batteries? Well, it's chargeable. Yeah, you have to have the charging cord. Well, mine either didn't come with a charging cord or I didn't see it and I threw the box away and I didn't have the charging cord. So I was like, oh my gosh, great. But I found that one of the cords that I had for this battery pack for my heated jacket that I have. Yes, I have a heated jacket because I'm a big wimp when it comes to cold weather and I hate it. So I needed a heated jacket. Anyway, the charger for that battery fit the charger for the blender. And I was like, fantastic. This is great. So I charged it. Then I went to use it. It still wouldn't work. I was like, oh my gosh, I spent all this money. I mean, not all this money. It was $20, but I'm like, it's not working. I wonder it was $20. But I thought there has to be something more. So it's like, oh my gosh, how do I fix this? And I put in a search and immediately a YouTube video pops up and it's like, your blend jet might be on lock mode. And if you hit the button for 3 seconds and then it lights up, and that's exactly what had happened. I guess I hit the button. I don't know. It was in lock mode and I learned how to take it out of lock mode, which seems like such a small thing, but I was so frustrated that I could not get this thing out of lock mode and that I couldn't use it. It was so annoying. So I finally got it taken care of. And my point is, your obstacles, those things don't have to keep you stuck. They don't have to cause you to stop what you're doing. Find a way. Find a workaround. There is always a way and a workaround, and ask the universe for help, which brings us to the last card, which is amazing because, again, I didn't know when I pulled until I did the reading, but it's, you have survived 100% of the obstacles in your life. You can't make that up. Talking about obstacles, and that's the card that comes out. You've got this. Give yourself credit. You have come so far in life. Keep going. List all of the obstacles that you have overcome. Claim your strength to yourself and the world. And the mantra that goes with this card is, I will keep going. I was born to shine. This card has come out several times for me. And it's not just a message for me. It's for everyone. Keep going. Don't let your obstacles become the thing that stops you. When you have an obstacle, it's a redirection of some kind. It's not telling you to quit. It's just telling you, go that way. Hey, there's traffic ahead. Go the other way. You'll still get there. You're just going to take a different route for some reason that is unknown to you, but known to the universe. Trust the signs. Trust the messages. Trust the redirection. Keep going. You've got this. I believe in you, and the universe believes in you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing and beautiful week. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.